Welcome back. This is the lesson section of our lesson today. Just went over homework. So we're in Chapter 12, Probability and Statistics. You'll notice on your homework sheet, we've done section 1, 2, and 3 the last couple days. Today, we're doing something out of order on your homework sheet. We're doing section 6. I thought that would be much easier for me to teach via video rather than section 4 or 5. So notice we'll do section 6 today. Here's your homework. This is not a typo. It is page 800. It's way in the back, page 800, way in the back of the textbook. So you actually don't have too many questions for homework tonight. Also notice you have a quiz on Tuesday on section 1 through 5, and then tests the following week. But let's get started. Now you're going to have to skip a few pages in your class notes. I didn't put section 6 right after section 3. So you're going to have some blank pages. We'll do these later, all these pages. So if you turn to page 14, this is our lesson for today. It's about statistical measures. Statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with how do we best represent data. And this is just one lesson on statistics. There's a whole class that the school offers on statistics. So you could have a whole year talking about statistics, but this is just one lesson. So many of these you learned probably in junior high, if not in elementary school. Measure of central tendency. A measure of central tendency is one number that describes the center of a data set or a bunch of numbers. So the most common that you're familiar with, I'm sure, is the mean. You're often wondering what your class average is, or your test average. Mean is an average. How do we find the mean? Hopefully you remember how to find a mean. You would add all the numbers, and then you would divide by the total amount that you have, the total amount of numbers that you have. So for instance, in this example, we would add up all these numbers that I've given you. 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 11. And we divide by the total amount that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divided by 8. And we can use our calculator to get that answer after we've shown that work. So when we add them all up, we get 43. 43 divided by 8 is the number 5.375. 5.375. Sorry, it's so small over there. But that's the mean of this data set of all these numbers. The mode is what number occurs the most. So a lot of people think of MO and MO, most and mode. So how do you find it? Well, you just look and observe. Stop and smell the roses. Usually it's not hard to figure out the mode. Look up here. Oh, look! Whoa, look at that. We got 3 3s. So your mode is 3. 3 occurs the most. The median is the middle number. If you think of when you're driving, you have a road, and you have traffic going this way, traffic going this way. This right here is called the median. It's in the middle of the road. You don't want to cross over and jump over the median. That's dangerous. So the median is the middle number. So first you have to put the numbers in order. So order the numbers. And then find the middle one. So for these numbers, I've already put them in order for you. You're welcome. There are 8 numbers, so the middle actually is between 2 of them. There's no natural number that falls right in the middle of the 2. So what we would do if there's an even number, we would take the 2 numbers, 5 and 5, and then find the middle of those, which is finding the average. So you would say the median is 5. So you have the mean is 5.3, the mode is 3, and the median is 5. Now if there were an odd number, then it's pretty easy. I'll just say, like, what if you had 3, 4, 5, 10, 11? The middle number in this case would be 5, and then you don't have to find the average. But if there's 2 middle numbers, you find the average of the 2. Now here's a question. A new company has 3 employees who are paid $500,000, 10 who are paid $100,000, and 60 who are paid $40,000. What's the average salary? Now we could do this the long way and do 500,000 plus 500,000 plus 500,000, and then 10 of these, plus 100,000 plus 100,000 plus 100,000 plus 100,000 plus 100,000 plus 100,000, and keep going. I don't want to have to do that. So a much faster way, you could say 3 of them make $500,000 plus 10 of them make $100,000 plus 60 of them make $40,000. And now we have to divide by the total workers that they have. They have 3 employees, 10 employees, and 60 employees. So that would be 3 plus 10 plus 60 is 73 employees. And this will give you the average salary per employee. So doing this on our calculator, we get total salary of everybody is $4.9 million. But the average is $67,123.29. $67,123.29 is the average salary. Now the next 2 questions are thought questions to some degree. What measure of central tendency best represents the pay at this company? Well, if we were to find the mode is the number that occurs the most. Notice you have 60 who are paid $40,000. So your mode would be $40,000. The mean is 67,000 and some. So I'll just round that so we can compare them, 67,000 and some. And then the median is the middle number. If you line them all up, you're going to have a bunch of the 500s. I'm just going to round it. Then you're going to have a bunch of the 100s. And it would take a while to actually line them up in order from greatest to least or least to greatest. But if you think about it, you have 73 workers. So the 36th to the 37th in the line, if you line them all up, the middle of 73 is about 36 and a half. So if you line them all up, the median is going to be $40,000. Because if you go from the right, you have 13 who make a lot, everybody else makes $40,000. So what measure of central tendency best represents the pay at this company? You could either say the median does or the mode does. Most people get paid $40,000. Even the median income is $40,000. Letter C, which measure of central tendency would recruiters for this company most likely use to attract job applicants? So recruiters are trying to hire people, get people to work for them. They're trying to attract job applicants. If you're a recruiter, you probably want to say the larger of the 2 numbers. Hey, come and work for us. We pay an average of $67,000 is the average. So people will hear, oh, wow, that's a really big average, $67,000. What they don't realize, maybe a little deception going on here, what they don't realize is that most people get paid $40,000, or the middle guy gets paid $40,000. But often recruiters will use a bigger number to attract you. So when you think about jobs, don't just look for the average salary. You should ask, what's the median salary? The next part of the notes, in statistics, we often want to display a bunch of numbers. Just, looking at these numbers, they don't mean very much. It's helpful if you find a measure of central tendency to describe the numbers, one number to describe the rest of the numbers. But what I want to do now for you is called a stem plot. You're going to be reading and constructing stem plots in your homework tonight. I think they're pretty fun to make, but I'd probably say that about everything. These data represent responses of 20 female students to the question, how many pairs of shoes do you have? This was from another teacher that gave me this data. These aren't my students. But it would be interesting to ask, how many pairs of shoes do you have? So a stem plot. A stem plot looks like this. You're going to have a stem and a leaf. They're also called stem and leaf plots. So first we find our lowest number. It looks like our lowest number is 13. We have 2 of those. Find our highest number, which is 57. So our stem on the left is going to go from 1 up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those represent the tens place, the 10th place, tens place. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And now we find all the ones with a 1, so we have a 13, another 13, another 13, we have a 19. So those three 13s we're going to write as 13, 13, 13, 19. So we've used these. Instead of writing the whole number, it's kind of a concise way of writing a bunch of numbers, and we need to put them in numerical order. So for the 20s, we have 22, two 23s, so 22, 23, 23. We have 24, and we have two 26s, 24, 26, 26. See if you could do the leaf for the 30, 40, and 50. So pause this video. Okay, here are the stems for the 3, 4, 5. There's a problem though. This is why I like crossing out the numbers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I missed one. So I have to go back here, erase this 9. And I need to put a 5. I'll put it in red since I got it wrong. So this is the stem and leaf, or the stem plot. Include a key. A key indicates someone who's reading it how you read this crazy looking thing. So you put one of your tens places, like 2, and then a vertical line, and then we'll say a 4. This means, 2 with the /4, means there are 24 pairs of shoes. So you include your unit, include the key, so someone reading it can just quickly look at it and determine what this is all about. So, stem and leaf chart, or a stem plot, sorry, I keep calling it stem and leaf, that's another name for it. Stem plot is used to display the data. You can tell pretty easily now what the mode is. The mode is the number over here that occurs the most. So the mode would be 13, because you have a 1 and you have 3 3s, so that would be 13 is the mode. The median, you could just count and find the middle number, and the average, you just have to add them all up with your calculator. Why don't you try the next one? I've already put them in order for you. Make a stem plot. And notice we're going to go from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 100, which will be a 10 on the left. And remember to include the key. We'll do 90, 0 equals. And that will be your key. See if you could do that. Alert, alert. If you haven't paused this video yet, you should pause it if you haven't finished. Which you probably haven't. Here are the answers. Here is the stem plot. The key is that 90/0 equals a 90% test average for the stem plot. And the next page. On the next page, we have the range. So we have mean, mode, and median. We have range is the distance between the greatest and least values. So basically you take your biggest, your maximum, minus your minimum, and that will give you one number, which is the range. So here are some interesting data from 2010-11. On the left, we have populations of the top 10 countries. China is number 1. They have about 1.6 billion people now. This is in millions, so 1,000 million. 1,000 million. We usually don't say that. We say 1 billion. So this is 1.3 billion. India is 1.2 billion. The United States is a third of a billion, which is 300 million, etc. So find the mean, median, mode, and range. You can use your calculators to find the mean. Whenever you find the mean, you can just show your work like this. The mean equals, not this again. Really just like that. The mean equals 1343 plus ... plus the last one, 127, divided by 10 countries. And that's sufficient work. You can do the rest on your calculator. The median is the middle number, so you have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The middle would be between the 5th and the 6th. So somewhere in here would be the median. Median equals the average of 194 plus 175 divided by 2. And the mode, it doesn't look like there is a mode. No mode. So when adding all them up, I got this number, 404.7, points there, divided by 10, gave 404.7 million people is the average. And for my calculator, the median is 184.5 million people. and there was no mode. See if you could do the next one. Find the mean, median, mode, and the range. The range on the previous question was the largest minus the smallest, which would give you 1216 million people.